Okay, I think I have the stream configured so that it looks decent. Let me see in just a second. I don't think I fixed anything at all, but anyway, let's get started on some stretches here. So I'm just gonna be doing a little bit of butterfly here. We're gonna flap the wings. Sorry, I know the audio is a little bit off. I've tried to fix it so it's like a little bit closer. I might do one more tweak to it, but I think this is as close as it's gonna get. I don't think it's terribly off. It's maybe off by just like a second or two, but I know that bothers people, so sorry. I'm trying my best. I swear I scooted this thing over and my stream is like no more scooted over. Like what I'm seeing versus what's actually being broadcast is like completely different, but we're working through it. Let me try scooting this over just a touch more because it is like annoying me. Like I don't even know like where it's getting this from because like the camera's like not even positioned in a way where it can like see something else. So I'm just confused. But anyway, we're gonna get into the stretches. I feel like I didn't change anything at all by doing that. But anyway, onto the butterfly here. Just gonna flap those wings a little bit. I'm just gonna lean over the top of this just to really get into the stretch. If you want to really get into the stretch, I would definitely recommend just leaning over a little bit. You will really feel it. You can also do like a little bit of like a roll into it. So just kind of like rolling down and then rolling back up if it's like too intense for you to just kind of like hang out down here. Because this I feel like is like pain the whole time, but like, well, your legs need to be tucked in enough for it to be like pain the whole time. But it's like if my legs are out here, like this wouldn't really, well, it still kind of hurts, but make sure your legs are tucked in enough that you can feel it. But if you don't want to just sit here this whole time, you can always just kind of like roll into it because then it's just like a brief second where you're like hunched over where it does like hurt. But I do feel like this is more effective when you're like hunched over the whole time. I'm now gonna switch so that I have one leg extended out to the side and the other one is still kind of where we had it before. I'm just gonna reach over for this leg. You can grab it with one hand, you can grab it with both. I feel like I typically do more of like a one-handed grab, but sometimes I grab for the foot and I grab for the ankle. I can barely reach like both hands to grab the foot, so I do like a foot and an ankle grab here. But again, whatever works for you, however you're feeling the stretch. If you're not feeling it, try to like extend your leg out further so that it's like a little bit more space and you'll start to feel it. Unless you're extremely flexible, maybe you wouldn't feel it at all, but I'm not extremely flexible. That's why I'm here, stretching on a regular basis. So we're making it work. I'm also going to do the same thing I did before, just kind of hunch over here just to really feel this stretch. For me, I feel like my leg's moving, so I'm going to try to like hold it in place a little bit because I feel like my knee does kind of want to turn in because it is like hurting the inner part of my leg to stretch like this, so I'm just going to hold my leg in place a little bit here, just by the knee. I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to scoot over a little bit so hopefully you can see. But I'm going to switch sides here. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side. Just reach and over. This is definitely my tighter, like less flexible side. So I'm really feeling all kinds of pain on this side. I mean, the whole thing's kind of painful, but this side is much worse. So just grabbing my foot and grabbing my ankle here because on this one, I don't think I can like physically reach both hands onto my foot, but that's okay. I'm also looking at my toes and realizing I maybe should have gotten a pedicure yesterday instead of just a manicure, but that's okay. Then I am going to hunch over here. I do feel like my leg is like lifting up and like twisting a little bit, so I am going to try to hold my leg down here. And I'm just going to lean over just to really feel that stretch in here. For those of you that watched my last stream, I am about to go to a concert after this. That's why I have like, I would say like not like every day, not like stretching athletic makeup on. So I don't know. I could have done the stretching before I did the makeup, but I just feel like I like it better when my face is done in my stream, so I figured we'd do the makeup first and then stretch with it on. So now I'm going to tuck one leg underneath me. I'm going to extend my foot. I'm just going to reach for the toe here and just like really feel it in the back of my leg. I'm trying to reach both hands to my foot, but if it's too much for you, you could probably just grab ankle or just grab knee even. Just whatever works for you. But I'm really feeling this one like in the back of my thigh there. I'm now going to take my leg and just kind of extend it out to the side, and I got something on my pants. I'm going to reach for my front foot here. This is also a stretch. I think they used to call it like the hurdler or something, because it's like what you do when you do like hurdles. Like if anyone ever did like track, or if you like remember doing that, like I think I did in like middle school PE. Maybe it was high school. I don't remember. Whenever we had to do it in PE, you'd be like, oh, you're like running, and then you like reach for like your front foot, like you're like doing a hurdle. So kind of the same concept there. I'm also going to just kind of do like a 45-degree angle between my legs and just kind of hunch over a little bit here. I feel like on this one I can't really get that low. Like I have like my like forearms on the ground, but can't get much further than that to the ground. And I wish I could, but I can't. I'm now going to do the same thing on the other leg. So I'm going to tuck one leg underneath me, and I'm going to reach for my front foot here. The stretch does sometimes make me like unstable. Like I don't know why I'm like tottering over, but sometimes I do feel like I'm going to fall in this one, which is strange. I guess it's because I'm just balancing on my foot. I'm going to extend this leg out to the side, still kind of like curled up here. I'm going to reach for the front foot. Again, this side of me is so much less flexible than the other side, and it's like a bit annoying, but I guess I just need to like push it a little bit harder here. I'm also going to reach for the center here. So same thing we did on the other side, just kind of elbows to the ground and reaching over. I feel like my leg is popping up on this one, so I am going to try to like hold it down here a bit. But I think that means that the stretch is good. It means that the stretch was needed for my leg, so we're working through it. I don't know like what's so tight in here. I don't know if it's because I've been like walking more, because I've been trying to like, so there's like a hill that I normally do on my walk, so I've been trying to make sure that like I do the hill like regularly instead of just going up the stairs to the hill. So I don't know if it's that or like if I've done something weird. Sometimes I walk in ankle weight, so perhaps I like stepped weird and I like hurt one of my muscles. I don't know, but we're gonna stretch them out, whatever happened. So now I'm going to get kind of in like this little like crouching position. Hopefully I don't flatten my hair too much doing this. I'm gonna stick one leg. I'm going to stick kind of like my ankle on top of the knee of my other foot and just kind of pull this towards me. I had a minor panic moment that my microphone wasn't on this entire time. But we're good. I'm just pulling this towards me. I feel like this is a really wonderful like hip opener stretch, if that's something that you need. And I feel like just with so much sitting we all have in our daily lifestyles, this is super necessary. So fun fact, this is now like a guest bedroom slash gym, because it has like a big open space and we do have some weights in here. They used to be like my childhood bedroom. So I can still see there's like little remnants of like those stick-on like ceiling stars on here, and it's kind of like fun and nostalgic. So it's like, oh, it's sweet that those are still here. They're like really subtle though, so I'm like, are they actually those ceiling stars, or am I just like imagining things? But I do see two for sure, which is very sweet. All right, I'm just gonna like give myself like a little hug here in this little ball and roll up. I'm gonna do another little leg stretch that I feel like is good for like helping with splits and just kind of like opening up everything. So I am going to take one leg and I'm going to kind of like fold it over like in front of me, and the other one's going to be folded like to the back. I'm just going to lean over into the stretch here. I feel like this one's also like a pretty good like hip opener also. And if you want, you can also transition to having like the back leg flat, just kind of however you're feeling the stretch, whatever makes sense to you. Then from here, now the back foot's flat for me, I'm just gonna go into like a little lunge. So I'm just gonna have my front leg up, back leg kind of lunge. Just kind of really feel that lunge, just kind of lunging back and forth here. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other leg. I'm going to have my front leg folded, back one like behind me and also kind of folded here. I'm just gonna lean over the front of it, just really get into that stretch. And I'm also going to do the same thing that I did on the other side. I'm just going to straighten out that back leg as my front leg is still bent over, just really feeling that hip opener stretch here. All right, and then from here, I'm just gonna pop it up into a lunge. So I'm going to have my back leg like straight behind me. Front leg is bent, like a little 90-degree angle there. I'm just kind of rocking / pulsing back and forth in the lunge, just so that I'm really feeling that. All right, gonna move on to a little bit of back stretching here. So just gonna kind of get into like a little crawl position and just gonna kind of stretch the back out, just alternating arching it up and just kind of sinking back down. Just getting that back stretch started. I'm also now going to continue with the back stretch theme. I'm going to have one leg crossed in front of me, and I'm going to cross another leg over it. Just some like a little bit like pretzeled up here. So that my legs are kind of like crisscross applesauce, but one's like on top. And I'm going to twist backwards here, just so that I can like push back on the knee and like really get into the stretch. And this could definitely be something that could crack your back if you haven't already cracked your back today, or just feel good on your back. Just a nice little twist. Same thing on the other side. And so you can do this multiple ways. You can do it how I'm doing it, because this is a way that I learned in a yoga class, but you could definitely just do it with like, instead of having your leg bent, you could just do it with a straight leg in front of you as well. And just twist here. Whatever makes sense for you. I'm realizing I could angle the camera down a bit so that you could see more of what I'm doing, because I'm not that tall, so I don't need it up that much actually. Hopefully I didn't just cut my head off in this frame, but that's okay. Okay, a little bit, but that's all right. All right. Those are the back stretches. I'm going to do a little bit of neck stretching, just kind of feel like working our way up. So we've done like the legs and we did the back. Now we're going to do a little bit of neck. I guess it would make more sense if I did arms and then did neck. But that's okay. We're moving on to the neck stretches. I'm also going to be in butterfly while I do this, just so that I can make sure that I'm just stretching this whole time. I'm just going to roll my neck around in circles here. Just kind of go one way and then back the other. But if you want, you could just keep rolling. This is clockwise. And then you could flip it. Oh no, that was counterclockwise. You could just flip it and go counterclockwise. You could do like one circle in each direction, which is kind of what I'm doing. I feel like I'm kind of just doing half circles. I'm not doing like the full circle. I'm just doing like a little shoulder to shoulder. Then I'm also going to just look side to side here. Just stretching that neck out here, side to side. Just looking over the shoulder, just as far as my neck will go, which I feel like is decent. I feel like I have a good enough range of motion. And then also here, I am going to try to do, like try to touch like my ear to my shoulder, which I really should look this up. I don't know if that's something we're all supposed to be able to do or if that's like something flexible people should be able to do. But I like can see this like muscle like popping out of my neck when I try to do it, so maybe that just needs to be stretched more. But I am trying to stretch my ear to my shoulder. Same thing on the other side. This like muscle is still popping out. I feel like it's less. I feel like I am like a bit closer on this side than the other side, which I don't know what that says about me, but I don't think it's good. So just stretching it over this way as well here. Okay, well, my neck sufficiently hurts. We're gonna do a little bit of arm stretch also while we're here in the butterfly. Feel free to flap the wings if you want as well. It will kind of like force your legs like down a little bit, like briefly, just so that you can really get into that stretch. If you're not feeling it, just bring your legs in closer to your body and you will start to feel it. Just gonna cross my arms over here across each side. A little bit above the head here, just grabbing the elbow with the opposite hand. Same thing on the other side, grabbing the elbow with the opposite hand. And you can really like pull this back, like if you really want to feel the stretch here in your arms. I'm gonna do a nice little arm stretch here as well, or a little wrist stretch. So I'm just extending my front hand and then pulling the fingers back. The little like TikTok video that I saw from like a chiropractor that did this, he did hold it for like 30 seconds, which I don't hold most of my stuff that long, but if like you really are like typing a lot or gaming a lot and you do need to stretch out those wrists, this could be a good one to try to do for like 30 seconds or longer. But for me, I just started my day, so not too much wrist tension yet, but I feel like this is something that would be good. I feel like sometimes like my wrists hurt when I'm gaming or typing, usually when I'm gaming. But I'll just like do like little wrist rolls. But honestly, I think this could be like more effective because it's like I really feel it in my wrist like when I'm pulling the fingers back. So it's pretty good. I'm now going to move on to a couple more like the standard stretches I feel like that like we were all taught like in PE and stuff that I feel like, I don't know, I don't do as often. So I'm going to try to like do some of them here. So it is a little bit harder to see me for these, which is why I don't do them as often. But I'm going to try to reach over to... I have my legs kind of like shoulder width, like probably a little bit wider than shoulder width, and I'm just going to try to reach for my foot here. I'm personally kind of pushing my knee back a little bit just because my knee naturally wants to like bend to help me get closer to my foot, but I am kind of holding that like back in place so that I'm really feeling that stretch. Over to the center. This one, if you do want to challenge yourself, you can try to reach like backwards instead of just in between or like in front of your toes. I do feel like when you reach backwards, it is like a bit more of a challenge. You're really getting into the stretch more, but up to you. I just kind of put my hands like in front of where my feet are, and that's good enough for me. You can also just kind of hang here if you cross your arms over, whatever works for you. Then finally, I'm going to reach over to the other foot here. Again, I am using my opposite hand to kind of keep my knee straight so it's not bending as much as well here. And I know this is like a little bit harder to see, but I guess I could adjust this up a little bit here. So I'm going to grab onto something. I'm going to grab my foot and just kind of pull it back in towards me here. So just like, you know, just the basic flamingo stretch here. Same thing on the other leg. Just pulling this towards me. Gonna get in kind of that basic hamstring stretch here. So I am going to be like flexed on my heel for one leg and bent with the other knee. And just kind of reaching down with that foot that's flexed here. Just really feeling that hamstring stretch. Again, I'm like pushing my hand onto my knee so that my knee doesn't bend as much, just because I do feel like my knee does want to bend when I'm not holding it, but I don't know, you could do something else with this hand if you don't need it. I guess you could put it on this knee or something, wherever. I'm gonna switch legs. Just same thing. I have my little bent knee, and then the other leg is like extended out. You can put your hand on this knee, like this knee, whatever works for you. I feel like do a little peace sign here, just Whatever you feel you want to do with your hands. However you're feeling stretched, that's good enough. My hair looks like little flames because it's like lighter on the bottom. It's like curled. I'm like looking at myself in my like little preview and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, my hair. All right. And then of course my favorite, because I inflamed my Achilles tendon one time and that was very embarrassing. So I am going to go up against a flat surface. I'm going to put like my toes up against a flat surface and just like push my body up against it just so my foot like is kind of like flexed up against that surface. And you'll really feel this like in the back of your leg, like in that Achilles, just so that you don't inflame it like I did. But this is a good one. I mean, even just for walking like long distances, like I'll do this just so I don't hurt myself, because it is really freaking painful to like pull your Achilles. I didn't pull it. I inflamed it is what the doctor said, but I literally couldn't even walk. So watch your Achilles is. But anyway, those are all the stretches I have for you here. Oh, we'll do one. We'll do like a closing stretch. So sorry, I made it a little bit harder to see me, but I am going to extend both of my feet in front of me. And I'm just going to reach for my toes in front of me. Just feel like this is like a nice like closing stretch, because we've done so much with like flinging our appendages like out to the side and everything, that this is just like compacting them all back in. But personal choice. All right. And if you can, do a little nose to knee. I cannot, but just as close as you can get with that stretch. All right. So now that is all the stretches that I have for you all. Thank you all for kind of like hanging out with me for, I don't do this daily, but my like couple times a week stretch reminder, like, hey, we should all stretch. Even if you don't stretch with me, just do a couple of your own stretches, because stretching is so good for you. And I feel like we just don't do it enough. Like, so super important to stretch. If you take anything from this video, just stretch. Stretch on your own, stretch with me, whatever works for you. But I appreciate you all. Appreciate my subs, appreciate my followers. If you're not already following, please just follow. Just lets me know I'm making good content, lets me know that you are here, and really helps me out as well. I also have like a new little follow goal going that I think, I don't have it like on Streamlabs, I don't think, but it should be popping up in the chat. Not sure, but I am going to do another like little bikini stretch stream once I hit 300 followers. So we're super close. So if you want to watch me stretch in a swimsuit again, make sure you hit that follow button. And I try to do it like the same day that like I hit that number. So you're not gonna be like, oh, when's it going to happen? So hopefully in the next like week or so, I'll hit 300 followers and we can do like another like fun little stretch for you all. Makes me a little bit stressed because I'm like worried about a wardrobe malfunction and getting like banned from Twitch. But it's fun for all of you, I'm sure, just to kind of like mix it up, you know, kind of like you could envision we're stretching on the beach or something as I'm in my swimwear. But anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me for part of your Saturday or whenever you're watching this video. I really do appreciate you all, and have a good rest of your Saturday, and I will hopefully see you in tomorrow's stream. Bye, and have a happy 4th of July as well. Hopefully you're all enjoying your weekend. Bye.